And back here live, CRS 2025 rolls on. What is it, about 4 o'clock now? Getting close to it. And the final few coming in here for day one of CRS 2025 there. And always good to see. It's like a family reunion here. We're home there in Nashville, Tennessee here. KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends again, iHeartRadio. And, of course, out there, too, the sportsguyspodcast.com. And always one of my favorites here to have on here. And just great news. Dillon Carmichael, what's up, man?
I'm great. How are you? I'm just enjoying getting to hang out with some cool people like you said.
He's the cool, right?
I've been at home for 3 months. I've done some deer hunting and stuff, but other than that, I've been sitting at home. I'm not used to that.
How's that going, deer hunting? Did you score one this year?
I did. I got me a nice buck this year. Tastes good. I made about 5 pounds of jerky, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I got the protein. I got something. I thought about bringing food.
And if he did, man, you know we got to get some. I love venison. I love that because that deer meat is good. We could have cooked it tonight at the Airbnb.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I still want to go out and eat, but I still want deer meat.
We could have brought it to the Airbnb.
I see him around outside somewhere. Hey, lots going on, man, and congratulations on the success so far. But I'm going to start here because, you got that. There's Montgomery and that James. We talked about that. The uncle's out there. John Michaels endorsed my show. Uncle Eddie's still doing his thing out there, too, even after the tragic loss of Troy. Out there, too, still keeping the great name of Montgomery Gentry. For you, it seemed like that really fueled you from a young age and really turned you into the artist you are now. Talk about that for the listeners.
Yeah, my mom is Becky Montgomery, which is Eddie and John Michael's sister. Or they're my mom's brothers, whichever. But yeah, she is still a singer. She does doing shows and stuff. But so my mom got me, singing and stuff like that. And my Carmichael side, my dad's side, they were in Harold Carmichael, my grandpa's in gospel quartet. But yeah, I grew up seeing Montgomery Gentry and John Michael, Montgomery on stage, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I was just absolutely on fire for it. I loved everything about the live performance. And I wanted to make records and do fun interviews and all that stuff, even when I was a kid. So look at me now. Look at I'm sitting here. It's awesome. It's cool to have cool family, cool uncles.
Yeah, and it just feels like you've got that in your music too, because that Son of an album did so well for you. And we talked about. I got my daughter singing Hot Beer and some of the other great songs out there, Family Tree.
Right. For
you, that's a collection of just a body of work of just a lot of years, man, and pouring that blood, sweat, and tears into those stories because, country music is all about storytelling. And you really, I'm going to use a sports term, you knocked it out of the park with that whole album because you made it just rip off just from first song to last song.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I take pride in recording great songs, at least that I think will relate. I mean, when we're picking out songs, there's only 5 or 6 people that ever hear them. So all I can do is hope that people like them, and I think we've done a pretty good job of picking great songs. I really have just a couple of core values with that. That it be country and that it be a great song. So I'm excited. I'm always excited to get to make another album. That's it. I remember a time when I first got to Nashville, all I wanted to do was make an album, and I just didn't have the money to do it and all that kind of stuff. So thanks to my awesome record label, I've been with for 7 years, Riser House, they allow for me to get creative and make a lot of albums. It's awesome.
You had one off that son of a record, the Paychecks and Long Necks. And I tell you what,
yeah,
that tells the story. Hey, this bucket look at me last night. That's just a 2-step in line dancing song in a club. And I love that too, because that's all jukebox music.
Oh, yeah. I still play it to this day, every show. It goes over good live. It's a great song. I think it could have been a big old hit at one point, but we had so many great songs. Hot Beer was the same batch of songs. Yeah, but that ended up being the single Hot Beer. That's one of my most well-known songs. But and I'm proud of it. I love it.
I think one of my favorite lyrics he put in the song with Hot Beer, which is kind of like, and it just you put the visual in songs when he did that.
Yeah,
was in Hot Beer, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it was Uncle Bubba's old dip speed.
Yeah,
if that didn't put a visual in your head right there too, I don't know what will. But I'll come up with that song. I mean, you work with John Parks on that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so if you've done it, if you've drank dip spit, that line is going to resonate with you because you don't forget something like that.
Apparently I have. So.
Well, I have too. I remember the color of the Gatorade bottle.
But those songs, man, and then talk about, Family Tree, because that's just one that's just a beautiful ballad out there. And so many people can connect with that one too, because all genes of all families come together.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's there's an undertone of my family history and the idea of family tree, but it's really about the family unit's so important, and where I grew up, it's centered around everything, and we do a lot of hunting and stuff like that. We provide for your family, it's all that stuff. If you go listen to the song, I just encourage everyone to go listen to it. But it's something that's near to my heart.
New projects, new music, things for 2025. Excited about those. So lay it on us.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a single coming out this Friday. Next Friday, I've got a single coming out next Friday. It's called "Keep the Country Alive," and it's a song about how I grew up, and it's kind of me going. I know that there's some younger folks out there that are growing up the same way I did, in small towns, and how that's important to keep that alive because, out there in the small towns, there's some good old people that nobody ever hears about because they're not in the spotlight. And I feel like my goal and kind of one of my missions is to shine the spotlight on those people. And so I could be maybe like a spokesperson for those people in a way,
Music is the spokesperson. Those blue collar workers out there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where it comes from.
Veterans, police officers, people that first responders, people that farmers, agriculture. That's what I'm all about. Shine light on all that stuff.
Where we're coming from, we'll finish up with this. I got to have him back to do a full length thing, telling stories, play some music, and all the good stuff. Especially for the listeners out in Taos, New Mexico. They just love you out there. They love playing the music on 99.9 KKTC. But we got to finish this. We were leaving a birthday party the other day, and daughter starts singing the song and things like that. And then the wife just comes out of nowhere. I said, I'm going to tell this to Elizabeth and the entire camp. She looked back at me, she goes, and this is something I already knew. You probably been told this a few times. She looked back at me, she goes, is that Eddie Montgomery singing on that track right there? I said, well, I told you who that was. That's Dillon Carmichael. And she looked back, she goes, he sounds exactly like Eddie Montgomery. I mean, that's just like to a T. Do you still get that these days? Because honestly, you've got that, and I know it's in the family. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, you've been told that. We talked about that before, but I said, but that's still his own style. That's still Dillon Carmichael. But man, when you really match it up, and she just hit that out of nowhere. I'm like, honey, I do a lot of shows. And she looked back. I said, well, you know what? That's a compliment. I'm going to ask him when we talk to him in person.
Sure. I do get that a lot, as you can imagine. It's a tonality thing, It's the way our vocal cords, how our vocal cords are made. We have the same blood. My mom is their sister. So it's not, it shouldn't be much of a surprise. But I'm prettier than Eddie, so, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I tell you what, the music's awesome out there, too. And, brother, look forward to having you back here on the show. Good to see you here at CRS. And look forward to another one. Full length of the new single. And I love
Thank you. What's funny about what I just said is Eddie would say the same thing. If he said, well, I'm prettier than Dillon. So, but anyway, thank you for having me.
One of the best out there. Dillon Carmichael, and of course, the fine folks at Bakeway too as well. Appreciate you guys coming out here too. A lot more to come. We just had the cast closed on at the beginning of the year, so a lot more to come for the great roster of talent they have out there. KKTC True Country 99.9, and of course, the sportsguidespodcast.com, and a lot more coming up here. What, 2 left or 3?
I think we got like 2 or 3.
Something like that. I want to get torn down before 5. We got day 2 coming up tomorrow. CRS 2025 rolls on. Stay tuned. More to come.